you've got Saudi Arabia, who a week ago or 10 days ago announced that they are joining BRICS, and confirmed by the Royal Crown Prince and by the President of South Africa. You got Xi Jinping going to Saudi Arabia to, I believe, to ink the deal, to welcome them in to the BRICS nations with open arms. You have China come out, or Saudi Arabia come out and publicly say last week that China is their biggest priority in oil and gas this year and for the next 50 years. They just came out and publicly said this. They basically just said, fuck you to the U.S. And in fact, they said that the only thing they view the U.S. for right now is protection. And here you got these two brain-dead senators, because they aren't pumping more oil into the midterms, looked at it as an open act of aggression and have proposed a bill to remove the Patriot missiles from the United Arab Emirates and from Saudi Arabia. In essence, removing the protection. That is what has given the dollar the world reserve status since 1974, the protection of the Saudi kingdom. Yeah. And when you talk about the Belt Road Initiative that all these countries are part of, along with the BRICS nations, all 13 OPEC producing countries are on the Belt Road. Saudi's joining the BRICS. Half of these countries on these OPEC producing countries, there's 13 of them. 6 of them are already on BRICS or going to be on BRICS. The 7th, the United Arab Emirates, just joined the BRICS banks. They're all moving against the West. And they just had last week, they just finished a 40-day trial of their new M-Bridge system, which is a cross-border payment system for central bank digital currencies. And what do you know? It removes or sidesteps the U.S. intermediate banks. In other words, it is no longer part of the SWIFT system. When we weaponize the dollar and push Russia out of SWIFT, that was the incentive for all these countries to say, you know what, this ain't going to happen to us. And so this has just been finalized. And I would say, you know, look, I mean, is this the beginning of the new BRICS reserve currency that they told us is going to be released this year or early next, pegged to a basket of commodities? And so when you put it all together, when you see like a country like Turkey, who said, we're going to join BRICS too, they bought more gold the first 7 months of the year than any country on the planet. Why do you think? Because they all want a seat at the table. You see, what's happening is this hypocrisy and this bullying by the West, this hegemony that we have, is what is bringing everyone to the table to stand up against the West. But what will make it work, the glue, will be the pegging using a distributed ledger technology, using the digital yuan, which has been going on for 4 years now. Successful beta testing, I would call it. Even at the Winter Olympics in Beijing, they used just the digital yuan. It's going to be the rails by which they show the pegging of all of these countries. They're going to peg their commodities to the new BRICS currency, which has been told by the finance minister of Russia will be pegged to commodities, not just a basket of local currencies. You put it all together, that, what Chris just said, is the biggest deal of them all. And that's going to happen. And in and of themselves, even a decade ago, none of these countries could stand up to the West. And since Bretton Woods in 1944, the whole world has been flooded with dollars. So it just made sense when we went to a fiat system to stick with dollars, because they were everywhere. But I'll tell you something, the days are coming to an end. All of these deals that are being struck are saying, fuck you to the dollar. Every single one of them that are being struck, they are pushing the dollar away. And when all of these countries come together, you have a stronger military, a much bigger economy, and a combined hatred and distrust of the Western system that is the rallying cry. But the glue will be the gold backing and the commodity backing for all the world to see, pegged on a distributed ledger for everyone to see the immutability and the veracity of it. It's coming. And so what's going on at the Fed and the raising of rates, it's a sideshow. All it will take would be for Saudi Arabia to say, you know what, thanks, it's been a good ride. But us and all 13 of our OPEC producing brothers and sisters on the Belt Road, most of us are joining BRICS. Probably all of us are going to join BRICS. We're opening up oil sales to the new BRICS currency and maybe some others. And bang, like that, the dollar collapses. And they all come rushing home, creating hyperinflation. And if you think they're not going to raise rates and they're going to pivot, yeah. But the villain in all of this is them, the BRICS, and the interest rates spike to the moon in the face of massive hyperinflation because everyone's dumping dollars. that's had to hold them since 1974 to buy oil, which is now flip-flopped. The day we left Afghanistan and Russia and Saudi Arabia signed that deal, it was the end of the petrodollar. And now you're beginning to see it spin in terms of how it's all coalescing. And when that happens, that is the reason I believe, much like this right here, when FDR told all his buddies, we're going to confiscate gold. Well, why did all the gold end up in the safe deposit boxes in Europe? As he told all his buddies, get it the hell out of the country before we confiscate it. I'm real good friends with the largest importer down here in Florida in all of the world of US $20 gold pieces that come from safe deposit boxes of European banks where they've been there since the end of World War II, or since 1933 rather. It's the same thing. The people that are draining COMEX and the LME, they know what's coming. They see what's coming. They're clued into what's coming. They're getting out of the ecosystem. They're pulling their stuff out and running for the hills for the safety of and removal of counterparty risk of being outside the system. And when that switch is flipped, like Chris said, the Brics system, bang, like that, it's over. Interest rates spike and stocks, bonds, and real estate and the dollar all collapse simultaneously. There's your Klaus Schwab moment. There's your great reset. There are your villains. We didn't do it. They did it to us. And then you start over and with a new gold-backed currency, maybe just like the Brics are going to do. How else do you get a reset without falling on the sword? You do it by incentivizing the world to find an alternative to the dollar, and it's coming. And I think that's the most important takeaway that I would take from anything that's happening around the globe right now is everyone's moving against the West.